Hey, what's up guys? This is Joey Young and we're back for another update on the 60p. So it's been a month and let's go ahead and talk about a little bit of the update on the fish, the plants, and how the tank's doing from the previous month. So obviously the fish are looking good. I did add in a couple more white clouds just to kind of backfill in the space. The puffers, as you can see in the front here on the lower left, they're doing pretty decent. And I did have one casualty in the tank. Obviously this is an open tank, and the SAE, the original SAE in here, he jumped out during maintenance. I saw that, found his body. Pretty much it was too late for him and he died. So I went ahead and bought another one just to replace it. So the issue with this tank in the past month, and you can kind of see it on this holding block or tank area here, is algae. So this tank, for some reason, is the only tank that I have issues mainly with algae, and basically tried all the tricks of the book to try to remove algae, manually, turning on the lights, and doing small treatments of hydroperoxide and Excel doses as well, turning up CO2. The CO2 is actually pretty high right now. A lot of the times the fish will gasp for air, so I think I'm kind of pushing it already there. And I actually cut down on the ferts. So I've actually tried a lot of stuff and things kind of didn't work very well. Even large water changes, I do weekly 50%, and still the algae kind of like consumed a little bit of the plants and they couldn't really grow. As you can see now, it's a lot better than before, I would say. I did add in basically UV sterilizer, and in a couple of days a lot of it went away. So I kind of had to do like the last resort and just kind of do that. I still do, the water changes and whatnot, just to kind of keep up with just normal maintenance and just routine. But it seems like the sterilizer just took care of it. So for you guys out there, if you guys can't really get a handle of algae, I recommend just getting one of those. That'll just solve your problems. So with the plants are finally starting to grow in. So I rescaped this tank like probably 2 months ago approximately, and the bruces in here were pretty good. When I threw them into the new tank, after, like, with bruces, they kind of tend to melt back with new like tank conditions, and that's what happened to my bruces. They all like just basically melt back, and with these guys, they take a long time to grow, and man, it's still barely starting to grow in, and over time definitely this tank will cover itself and it'll look really good. But I was battling with the algae and it wasn't helping with the growth. So finally I got a handle of the algae, and what I'm going to start doing is getting rid of a lot of these floaters here, because it's kind of covering a lot of the light onto the tank, and we'll start getting hopefully some good growth on the bruces. The fish, the stock on this tank, I would say it's pretty heavily stocked tank. But even though these guys are pretty small, they don't really poop a lot or whatever. But it's in terms of number, there's definitely a lot of fish in this tank, and that's okay. I do have a lot of plants, so it'll be fine, I think. Again, the sand did look nice initially, but a lot of the fish would move a lot of the ADA soil into the sand and kind of gets mixed in there. And every week I try to move a little bit back, but it keeps getting pushed back. So I was just like, whatever, that's just gonna happen. I did add in a heater to the tank just because it's starting to get cold, and usually I don't really run a heater in this tank during the summers, but during winter it does drop pretty low, so I just want to keep it at 75 just to make sure it doesn't really drop any lower than that. And that's mainly just to keep the fish and the plants healthy and happy. The other new thing other than that UV sterilizer, actually let me kind of show you guys real quick. So that right there is what I bought. It's a hang on the back. I didn't want to buy, I was trying to look for an inline, but too much hassle. This one was just kind of hang on the back and you plug it in, and there's UV sterilizer that goes with it. So that one was way easier than just trying to figure and spend a lot of money on one that you'll have to try to fit into your canister and whatnot. That one was only like $40 or so, and the UV sterilizer in there seems like it's doing its thing. And I have it on a timer, so it's not very long. So yeah, the tank is starting to bounce back, and it's looking good. The fish are all looking good. The plants will hopefully take out and start growing within a couple months, and hopefully we get some new leaves here and there and a bunch of new growth is what I'm hoping. So yeah, pretty much it in terms of updates. So hopefully I can give you guys a better update. These I forgot to mention, these 3 back here are the same Ireo plants that I got. They started melting back because these were new. I got them maybe like 2 weeks ago, threw them in here, they melted back and they starting to grow back a little bit. These little ones in the front here are looking pretty decent. Not as big, but they'll eventually grow to that size. So looking forward to that. And make sure you guys check out the contest that I got going as a Halloween theme, and I think it's really fun. You guys will get a chance, to win one of these Bruces, one of these Ireos, and yeah, so the link I'll post below as well. So get those entries in, and we'll stay tuned for the next one. Peace, guys.